Ladies and gentlemen, I just finished watching The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol, Season 2... I can't do the name anymore. I don't know where the cough even fits in there, but I just finished watching Season 2, Episode 3 of The Daryl Dixon Show, and it wouldn't be in good faith if I didn't try to pronounce the name of this one. This one is called L'Invincible. Invincible. I'm not French, clearly. But I have to say, I hated this episode. I really did. I mean, there was a couple cool moments in there, and I'll give it credit where it's due, which you're going to see in the review. But I just really did not like this episode for a lot of reasons. And honestly, I didn't know how to really present this, so I'm just going to try to dive in. I'm not going to give like an actual review of every single moment that happened in this episode, but I'll try to put some stuff on screen. So yeah, I just want to get in. The episode opens up with a story that I just don't understand why we keep trying to humanize the villains of these shows. They did it with The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live with Jadis recently, where in the very last moment, you had Jadis' story feel redeemed because you told this backstory with Father Gabriel. Not saying anything's happened here with Madame Genet, at least not yet in terms of the story, but Madame Genet's backstory just doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel right. I don't care. I don't want to see her storyline. She is a villain. She is not the main character. She's not our protagonist. I don't care unless it adds something really serious. But in this episode, what was it? We saw her backstory in the pyramid building in Paris. I don't know what the hell it's called, where the Mona Lisa happens to be, all because later in the episode she tells Carol, oh, I took the Mona Lisa with me. I mean, there might have been some narrative there, sure. There could have been. I don't know. But it was just stupid, and I don't care. As much as I like Genet, I actually think she's a cool villain. She's fun to follow. I don't mind her. I just hate when stories try to humanize the very blatant antagonist of the show. Why do that? What is the need? You're wasting screen time. This show is doing the same sort of thing that The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live did, wherein you have a story that just feels rushed because you're allocating time, like similar to how we allocated so much time to Father Gabriel, even though I love Father Gabriel, like you're allocating so much time to the wrong goddamn things. We don't need to see her backstory. We don't need to see this random lover that none of us knew about in terms of the story. We don't need to see him. We don't need to see any of this. It's pissing me off. I did not like this episode. Sorry, I'm going off. I know it's a small detail. I just thought the whole thing was really weird, and then his death was even weirder. Her boyfriend, I guess. His death was even weirder because in there, he goes up to the window, and just like Noah in season 6 of the main series, The Walking Dead, his face just gets ripped apart. And that's another thing. You know, I know this is a small thing, and this isn't a problem with just this show. It's a problem with The Walking Dead and all zombie genres in general. These zombies devour humans, but then when you look at the zombies, you don't see any devoured zombies. You know what I mean? You just see dead zombies. I don't get it. What happens to these guys, like this guy who just gets their face ripped off? Like, what happens to them? Because you don't see them crawling around. I don't get. I know that's a small detail, but the reason I bring this whole thing up and the Noah similarities and blah 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 is literally Genet, who is apparently a janitor at this pyramid. I don't know what it's called, but the pyramid place. Apparently, she's a janitor there. Her boyfriend's on the other side, and they have to run to go around from police, which literally they ran like a foot. They didn't run far at all to get out of the way. So when this guy was getting his face fucking eaten, you'd think they would see that and try to stop it, or before it happened, they would push him out of the area. But no, plot armor or plot development or whatever you call it. It's just stupid. It's just stupid, and I don't like it. And I know this is a small detail in the episode, but it really agitates me. It really does, because I just felt this way. I felt everything in this episode was stupid. And obviously, we're going to be jumping around a little bit, so I'm going to warn you for spoilers now, because there was a death in this episode. So far, there's been many deaths in the show. There's been people in the last episode, people in this episode, which is, it's nice to see we're returning to a world where the characters don't feel safe, but there has been a lot of it. But this one has literally the cake. It has the trophy for being the stupidest death I've ever seen. Oh my God, Sylvie just went on a frantic mission looking for Laurent, which I understand. You're looking for Laurent and you care for him. You know, that's like a brother to you. I get that. But then she goes on a frantic mission in an area that looks like fucking Winterfell, in an area that looks like Winterfell in Game of Thrones. You have her just up at the top flipping out at Losang, like, bah, 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 and then she just falls? Like, I'm sorry. What? Okay, I actually liked Sylvie. I thought Sylvie was a pretty good character. I'm extremely disappointed at what they decided to do to her, and I understand you were gonna kill her. Like, I get it. She was probably gonna die. That's fine. But it's just the way it went down. It's just goofy. I'm sorry. It's just goofy. She's frantic. Then these guys come and they, like, yell at her or whatever, and then she, like, trips and falls over a wall. Like, what? Maybe I'm forgetting exactly how that went down, but that's how I remember it. And that's just goofy. And of course, the fall was far enough where she fell and was bleeding from somewhere. It was just stupid. And then what's even stupider about that is the whole thing. There's two things with that. One, the entire thing that Losang's doing to cause her to go frantic in the first place, which we're going to get into in a minute. But then the second thing is right after Losang sees her death and he's clearly upset about it, they just move on like it's no big deal. And then they have her be the bait that is the one to try to bite Laurent. Like, what the fuck? Oh my God, this felt like a sci-fi show. This felt like a show that you would literally see on the Sci-Fi Channel. This felt like Planet Z. It was just ridiculous. It was everything I hate about The Walking Dead right now. It's everything that I can't stand about this Fear the Walking Dead writing. And yes, I have to say, The Walking Dead still does have a special place in my heart. But this is the reason you lost 90% of your viewership. It's stupid, it's cringy, it's not fun, and I didn't even mention the fact that in this episode, Losang's whole plot with that girl whose name I still don't know, that whole plot with them trying to, like, kill Laurent, essentially, because of faith, because without trying to get Laurent to be the cure or whatever, you'd be nothing. Oh my God, you're a grown adult who grew up in Hoboken, which is not far from where I am right now. There's a lot of smart people here. You can't be a leader of a community if you're not smart. Oh my God, like, what the fuck? I'm sorry. It's just so dumb. And yes, I'm getting very agitated, but it's so stupid. It's just dumb. I'm sorry. I'm flipping out. God, I gotta calm down a little bit. Okay. All right. Okay. Back to normal. I just didn't like the episode, okay? I really didn't. I didn't think it was good. I just thought it was straight up bad. The other thing, I'm sorry, that I thought was bad, which I'm going to try to be calm about in this one, is where the heck did all the red shirts come from? How many villains are there in the vest? Because as soon, and this is another thing classic The Walking Dead always does, right when Laurent is about to die, right when he's about to die, literally, Daryl shoots Sylvie's zombie in the last second. And the reason I bring up the red shirts, we're gonna get into in a minute, but regardless, what The Walking Dead consistently does this. A character who we know is going to live, by the way, is put in this dire circumstance only to be saved at the very last second. How many times in The Walking Dead's universe has this happened? Have we not learned better from a writing perspective that is just dumb? Sorry, I know, I'm supposed to be calm. And then the red shirts, okay? The red shirts. This is where it pisses me off as well. When Daryl then makes the shot and misses or hits Sylvie or whatever, out of nowhere, there's an infinite number, like there's an infinite number of the Dothraki. There are so many red shirts that just come after Daryl. It felt like the boss episode of a show. Like, oh my God, how many of these villains are there in the nest that would just be willing to kill a guy over protecting a child from being bitten? What? This plot is so dumb. It is so dumb. It really is. And yes, the show is better on a binge, sure, but it's dumb. This show has been better than that. Season 1 was better than that. Daryl and his whole dynamic is great, but these stupid things are ruining it. And then you have these red shirts. Literally, Daryl killed like 20 of them in, again, what felt like a video game boss scene. Daryl's just murking them with the mace thing constantly. Like, what the oh my god. And then, yes, Daryl's a good fighter, but good enough to go against 20 armed men. Some of them had guns. What? What? Oh my god. And then, okay, that whole thing was stupid. Of course, it just leads up to Laurent and the guy, and then Daryl, and them all splitting up and saying, I'll be back to you in a day. I hope nothing happens to those characters, especially Isabelle. I hope nothing happens to them because of this stupid writing that we got. We'll see about that. Who knows? Anyway, we see that whole thing happen, and then we cut to Carol's storyline because now she's in France. She had already seen some stuff happen, blah, blah, blah. Apparently, she's like all buddy-buddy with whatever her name is, Madame Genet, or at least they portrayed it that in the beginning of the episode. But we see her eventually interrogating Codron, who's just sitting in a corner. I don't get it. His character's been neutered this whole season so far. But she goes in, says she's looking for her brother because somehow magically Carol knows to pull at the right heartstrings to get Codron, this random stranger, to talk, who also had a brother who died at the hands of what? Like, what? Okay, I get it. She could have just said that to try to pull at the heartstrings in general and have been a coincidence, sure, but it's just another convenient plot point that this goddamn show has done. What? Dumb, stupid, but regardless, it's good to see Codron again, even though his character's been completely neutered. Though I understand he had to get, like, tortured by Genet because of the boy and whatever stupid shit that this show is. Regardless, that whole thing happened, so she ends up telling Madame Genet that she really just wants to kill. When she goes to escape after hearing this, she gets caught. Obviously, Madame Genet interrogates her, and she says she's off to kill Daryl Dixon. So Madame Genet's like, oui, I'm coming with you. And then, out of nowhere, last minute, Madame Genet betrays Carol by having her in this line, seemingly where they're all going to get killed, which is the cliffhanger of this episode. Okay, I'm really worried for my health. I might drop dead after this episode, but this was just such a goofy episode. I can't stand this kind of writing, and I still love Daryl, and I love Laurent, and I love Isabelle. I love those characters, and I like them in a bubble, but all these stories around him being the Messiah, and they have to literally get him bitten to prove it, it's just so dumb. And then everything that's followed suit. The Madame Genet backstory makes no sense. The Sylvie death makes no sense. The infinite number of red shirts just coming after Daryl like it's a boss fight. Carol randomly finding the exact right words to say is just everything, man. I just hated this episode. I really did. I only hope it gets better and that they keep this story somewhat in a good spot. And I only hope they don't make stupid decisions going forward. I truly, truly do. But I've already seen episode 4, and I know that's not the case, so be subscribed to see me next week for that one, because that's a fun one.